Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of the Coach Training Partners podcast. My name is Gordon Duncan. I'm the owner of Capitalize Marketing and Consulting. And this show is part of the larger Capitalize Your Best podcast network of shows. On Mondays, we have This Is Gonna Hurt, which is about a personal growth podcast, making a better you. Today, Tuesday, is Coach Training Partners. This is where we help coaches either create programs or grow their revenue. On Wednesday, we have Capitalize Your Best podcast, which is a business and marketing growth podcast. On Thursdays, we don't have a podcast, but we do have a live Capitalize coaching call at 11 a.m. Eastern. That happens within the Capitalize Your Best online community. I'll tell you more about that later on. And then on Fridays, we have a fun podcast called You're Entitled to Your Opinion, which is reviews, interviews, anything pop culture, giving me a chance to get those things out of my system. But today, of course, is Coach Training Partners, and I want to get right to it. Today, I want to talk about the cost of keeping what you know to yourself. The cost of keeping what you know to yourself. Many of you are incredibly talented, you have skills, and you have experiences that if you passed on to others in coaching programs, it would make a massive difference in so many people's lives. But quite often you don't. And when you don't share what you know in these programs, there's a cost to you. Now, typically, folks don't start coaching programs for a couple of reasons. Their ego gets in the way. I'm not going to sell my services, or I'm not going to go online and tell people about it. And that's just ego. And sometimes it's cost. People feel like they don't have the money to purchase or to pay for a program to help them create it. And then sometimes they feel like they don't have enough online attention or enough online following. But honestly, folks, none of that has anything to do with creating a program, because there are affordable ways to create programs to get over your ego and to gain a following. We do that in the Capitalize Your Best program. So I want you to set all of those things aside, and I want you to think about what the cost is of you keeping what you know to yourself. When you keep what you know to yourself, someone else stays stuck longer. When you keep what you know to yourself, someone else stays stuck longer. Here's what I mean. Through your experiences, through your talent and your skills, you've overcome so many things that other people are going through. And if you shared your experiences and your skills and your talents with people who needed to know it, they would get unstuck. They would make growth and advances in their lives. They would get jobs. They would have better relationships because you shared what you know. But when you don't share what you know, people stay stuck longer. It's actually doing damage to other people. I mean, if you've been through something, share it. I do this all the time when I go to my mentor and I'm like, hey, I'm stuck here. Have you ever been through this? And he goes, yes. And then he shares with me the particular skills and talents and experiences that he's had, and it gets me through it. I quote my old mentor, Terry Trailer, all the time. He told me, Gordon, I will share with you every mistake I've ever made. Just don't make those mistakes. Go make new ones. And when you keep what you know to yourself, people stay stuck longer. Don't do that. Create a coaching program or get out there and share it more so people will get unstuck. When you keep what you know to yourself, you know what else happens? Your knowledge loses power when it's not used. When you keep what you know to yourself, your knowledge loses power when it's not used. Let me explain in this analogy. Let's say you've been in the gym and you've been working out, and your body has built muscle memory. Your body literally has knowledge built into its muscles. And when you don't use it, when you don't go to the gym, you lose that muscle memory. You lose that quick action reflex. You lose the ability. You have to think, how do I do that? How is that yoga pose? Or you're not as quick to respond. You might even get injured. That happens in the same way with your knowledge. Let's say you have particular knowledge of how to make money online. You've helped people create programs before, and you don't tell people about it, and you don't tell people about it, and you don't tell people about it. And guess what happens? You begin to lose your own knowledge because you're not utilizing it. Let's say you have the ability to help people create social media graphics that get attention. but you don't help anybody with it. And guess what happens? You start losing and losing that power. Whatever your skill set is, I want you to think about it. What is your skill, knowledge, and experience? If you don't share it with others, eventually that skill, knowledge, and experience begins to diminish because it's only being used for you. And at some point in time, your motivation for you is going to diminish. When you don't share what you know with others, your knowledge's power begins to diminish because you're not using it. Another thing that happens, the other cost of keeping your knowledge to self is this: you shrink when you don't step forward. When you don't share what you know with others, you shrink when you don't step forward. And if we're not moving forward and growing, we're shrinking. And folks, if you're shrinking in your life right now, I challenge you to step forward. If you've been through an experience and you've come out the other side and you've got growth, wisdom, and knowledge, share it, because that ability is going to shrink. I can tell you right now that if I quit speaking in public, or if I didn't share with people how to create videos and those kind of things, my ability would shrink and I myself would shrink. I would become less. But you become more by giving. When you give of others and you share what you know to others, you become more. But if you don't, you're going to shrink. Folks, there's three things that happen. There's three costs that happen when you keep your knowledge to yourself. When you keep your knowledge to yourself, there's three costs that are paid. One, someone else stays stuck longer when you don't share what you know. And two, your knowledge loses its power when you don't share it and you don't use it. And three, you shrink when you don't step forward. Let's not do that. Let's create coaching programs so people aren't stuck longer. Let's create coaching programs so your knowledge maintains its power and grows. And let's create coaching programs so you don't shrink, but you actually expand. Friends, if you have ever thought about creating a coaching program, please reach out to me. Through the Capitalize Your Best program, we will teach you how to create a program, how to monetize it, and how to create not just a product or a service, but a business. I've been doing this since 2003. I started consulting with eye doctors in 2003. I created my first online program in 2010. I make my living presently by helping people either grow what they do or creating things and growing what they do. And I would love to share with you all the mistakes I've made, but also the best practices. So friends, if you would like to create a coaching program, or if you'd have one that you'd like to grow, reach out. The Capitalize Your Best program is uniquely built for just that thing. To summarize, the cost of keeping what you know to yourself is threefold. One, if you keep what you know to yourself, someone stays stuck longer. Number two, your knowledge loses its power when you don't use it. And number three, you shrink when you don't step forward. Let's not do that. I want to help you share what you know with the world so people get unstuck, your knowledge gains power, and you don't shrink, but you actually grow. Friends, thanks so much for tuning in. I'm so glad you're here. If you'd like to become a part of the Capitalize Your Best online community, that's apart from social media, we have daily, weekly, and monthly coaching. We have courses in there. We have so many things in there. If you'd like to find out more about that, reach out to me. I've got a 7-day trial. But right now, friends, thank you for tuning in, and come back tomorrow, because tomorrow is the Capitalize Your Best podcast. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.